What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the top 10 brawlers in the game right now. So it's literally been a day since the meta kind of developed, but give you guys at least a first glimpse of who I think are the strongest brawlers right now. So before we jump into things, make sure you're using a creator code. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's hop into it. Guys, jumping into the 10th best brawler in the game right now, we have Otis. So Otis is still a top 10 brawler in the game. We received no nerfs and still just really good at countering a lot of those aggressive brawlers and has really good range. So before we discuss a little bit more about Otis, we've got some honorable mentions as well that miss out on this top 10. So we have brawlers like Ash, just in and around the top 10, always really strong. You know, Poco's still pretty decent within the meta. Jean, really good when it comes down to Power League, especially in Knockout and Bounty. Then also we have Stu and Cole. So those are some that just missed out on the top 10. But anyways, everyone knows how strong Otis is. Hasn't received a nerf for a little while now, and the range is always quite surprising to a lot of people. His mute can counter every single brawler within the game, and he just has so much versatility where in Power League, if you're ever in doubt, literally in every single game of the map, you can always go into Otis. So of course, he's still going to be in the top 10 brawlers. So next up, as the 9th best brawler within the game right now, we have Amber. So Amber actually didn't receive any balance changes, but she did receive a brand new mythic gear called Sticky Oil. So this mythic gear basically makes it so whenever an opponent goes over her super, they'll be slowed for 20 seconds. Well, the main reason why this is good is because you can just throw your super in an area, and then you can just typically leave it for your teammates to then fight in and around that area, just so you don't activate it yourself. So that's a really important tip with this brand new mythic gear, but it's just so toxic. There's so many maps in the game right now where this gear just makes it like unplayable, especially on every single heist map, really, on every single hot zone map. A few in particular like Kaboom and Safe Zone, it's just way too toxic, way too overpowering. Already pros are just banning Amber on those types of maps pretty much all the time, and there's so many maps where it's good on, you know, Minecart Madness, Gem Fort, Crystal Arcade, where there's some isolated lanes. You can just throw your super there, and the opponents of course have to walk over it, and 99% of the time they're actually going to go through the fire. Before, it's a bit of a guessing game. Normally you had to kind of guess whether the opponents are going to actually land on top of that super before you can of course set it on fire, but now you pretty much hit it every single time. So yeah, it's quite concerning how good Amber is right now. I honestly could have put her a little bit higher, but just because it's the first day, I didn't want to overreact too much and put her as like the best brawler in the game, but honestly she could be right now. So next up, as the 8th best brawler in the game right now, we have Crow. So Crow still continues to be one of the best brawlers in the game quite easily. Is one of the brawlers that are just really annoying to deal with, especially with his slows and the constant jumping. He's still banned quite often when it comes down to competitive. So yeah, Crow's just good against everything as well. There's not really many main counters to Crow. He can deal with everything. He can feed his super off aggro brawlers, he can slow them, he can jump on top of really squishy brawlers, and he's just so good on so many different game modes where you need that control, like hot zone, like gem grab and Brawl. So many ways to use Crow. He's still one of the best brawlers easily right now. So next up, as the 7th best brawler in the game right now, we have Shelly. So this might seem like an April Fool's joke to you, but to me, I'm being deadly serious. Shelly is one of the best brawlers in the game right now. Might be overreacting a little bit just because her base mechanics haven't changed in a way, but changing from normal to very fast is insane. You know, you pair this with any grassy map with a speed gear, she's insane, so fast. And the best thing about her is that you can actually use her in other game modes as well. If you're using her on a more open map, I've seen Ash on Twitter get some really nice clips on their open knockout map. You can just switch to Band-Aid and then just still use a speed gear, and you're just so fast. It's so hard to deal with. And if using Shell Shock as well, it's actually really underrated star power. Slowing the opponents for 4.5 seconds, it can be crippling. So take Shelly serious in this meta. I think she could be even higher on the list, but I think she's so strong right now. Next up, as the 6th best brawler in the game right now, we still have Janet. So pretty boring that she didn't get any type of balance change. Maybe after the competitions are played out this weekend, we can see some nerfs to some of the strongest brawlers that have been so strong since they came out. But yeah, Janet still continues to be one of the best brawlers in the game easily. Main reason being, she's just good against everything. She has some really good damage output and can always consistently do well. Even if she doesn't have a favorable matchup, at least there's a lot of survivability with her. You've got her super, you've got gadgets that can help at least keep opponents low and just be really annoying. You know, a good Janet player can just get so much value on the map. So yeah, for me, she has to be in the top 10 so easily. Next up, as the 5th best brawler in the game right now, we have Meg. So again, another brawler that has received a balance change recently. Well, a complete rework to Meg. So she now starts off in mech form with 6,000 HP, and it just makes it a lot easier to cycle through her mechs. And the one thing that is actually actually really busted about her at the moment is, for me, it just seems so ridiculously hard to take out a Meg now. I don't know why. You can just cycle between both forms so easily, and of course her mech regens as well. I just think she's really strong in ladder specifically. Not tested her out in Power League. You got to wait until Monday to really test her out and see how truly strong she is. But playing ladder, when I play her, when my teammates play her, we just tend to win pretty much all the time. She's so good against everything. But I think maybe as time goes on, I think she might be a little bit weaker as people start to learn how to take her down a lot easier. But for me, this rework has been incredible, and Meg has to be one of the best brawlers right now. So next up, as the 4th best brawler in the game right now, we have B. So B, no nerfs to her, unfortunately. And of course, she's still going to be one of the best brawlers in the game because there's only a few balance changes. And if anything, she counters some of the meta brawlers, especially that came to light, you know, brawlers like Shelly, Meg, and also Amber. B is a fantastic counter to pretty much all of those. So yeah, she's still one of the best brawlers easily right now. You can just spam those 3k shots all of the time. It only takes 3 shots to get your super. So one thing about her as well is that she's hardly ever vulnerable. Like, you'd think B is quite a squishy brawler. You can take her down quite easily. She has this shield star power. She also has the shield gear. And then also when you think about it, you've just got that gadget to protect you. And then you've got the super, so you can keep chaining and keeping the opponents away from you. There's just so much survivability with B. You wouldn't even realize. So easily right now, she's one of the best brawlers. So next up, as the 3rd best brawler in the game right now, we have Max. So still Max continues to be one of the best easily. Again, no balance changes, which I'm really surprised about because Max has been one of the best brawlers for a long time now. She's super versatile, has really decent HP, really good damage, one of the best supers in the game, and can counter so many different brawler compositions. Like, that super can just break compositions apart, and especially if it's like a control comp that, you know, counters you. Say there's like a Grom or Sprout that just completely destroys your squishy brawlers. One Max super can just turn the tides so easily. So yeah, for me, Max just gets way too much value, so good against pretty much everything. She still has to be easily one of the best brawlers in the game right now. Next up, as the 2nd best brawler in the game right now, we have Penny. So I could easily put Penny at number 1 as well, especially since she got that brand new pet gear. Like, I don't know how she hasn't received any nerfs. She's easily one of the best brawlers in the game for such a long time. The versatility, she's so strong against everything. Even those tanky brawlers, you've got a star power that can knock back and cancel those supers, especially when I'm playing ladder. More often than not, I do use that star power, but still you can get so much value out of the other star power as well if you combine that with Salty Barrel. And then of course, you've got this brand new gear that gives an extra 20% damage to your turret, which is just crazy. I think it deals like 2,100 and nearly 2,200 damage now. And then also the fire as well. It's just way too much. So I'm definitely expecting a nerf in a couple of weeks time to her because she's been easily one of the best brawlers right now. And yeah, for the foreseeable future, she has to be one of the best. So now moving on to the best brawler in the game right now, we have RT. So RT, I was always a little bit apprehensive to put him as strong as I thought it was because I thought people would think I'm overreacting. But RT is an incredibly strong brawler, especially since they added that gadget where you can easily counter those squishy brawlers. All you need is 2 taps and a gadget, and you can kill so many sharpshooters. So that's an amazing thing about RT. Of course, he's really tanky as well. And then just to top things off, he's a sniper brawler that can then deal with aggro brawlers. So what are his counters? He really has like no counters. Even though recently received a small HP nerf, he's still incredibly tanky for a sniper, and he did receive a nerf to his split form, but still, I think you can just shred through every single brawler in that super form. So that wasn't really the problem with RT. The problem relies with his gadget and how long the mark stays with him. So still, I actually think he's the best brawler in the game. Alright guys, it's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think of my top 10 ranking. Of course, I might be wrong about a few of these. Give it a week, and I might even do another one just to keep you guys updated as much as possible on the meta. But after playing a lot of ladder, I feel like this is pretty accurate for now. But of course, it always takes a little while for the meta to settle. But still, I think the top 4 brawlers are pretty much the same as the last meta because there's not really been some big nerfs or some absolutely incredible changes. So yeah, I'm hoping for some nerfs to be Max, Penny, and RT pretty soon. So that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.